Greetings, this is Brandon from primarilypens. Today I'm sharing some of the pen storage and organization options I've discovered and used over the years. My collection focuses primarily on large and heavy fountain pens, which make traditional large pen chests feel somewhat unwieldy and impractical for everyday access. As a result, I prioritize solutions that strike a good balance between capacity, slot size to comfortably accommodate large pens, and organization, particularly through stackability for efficient use of space. Some of these options are no longer in production, but they can still appear occasionally at pen shows or on secondary markets like eBay. So I want to start off with this. This is a Visconti case. This is soft. This is a soft leather, really pretty case, and it has magnetic clasps and allows for 12 across pens, and it allows for again some larger pens. These are all Tibaldi's from the Bentley series, but it's a nice little secure slots in here, which is really nice. Now this particular one actually has two sides, so it has again 12 on each side, so it's actually quite compact to allow for a total of 24 pens. So I like this. I've seen and I have one just a single side, is a 12 also from Visconti. But again, they're a little bit softer, so they're I can't really stack them as much, but they're quite convenient for storage. Likewise, Visconti had what's called the Dream Touch cases. These were in various sizes. I think the largest is like this 12 that I use. The 12 is typically my smallest size that I want to use just for organizational purposes. But these are quite nice. I tend to use this style, this 12 across, to hold most of my David Osterson pens, just for it's easy to display. So these are again quite nice, and they're fairly firm, so they can be stacked. They're not quite as firm as some others, but they're quite useful. So I really like this Dream Touch. Very similar, Esterbrook came out with a couple different styles of cases. Again, the same 12 case, and I think they have 6 and 3s or whatever kind of thing. But I stick to the 12s. These are nice because it has this elastic band in the middle. It also shows all the entire pen, which I think is nice to be able to appreciate the pens. Kind of thing, and that's really nice. They're also again fairly firm, so they're really good for stacking purposes. There's another style again by Esterbrook that had a flap to the side, so it folds open this way. But again, the similar elastic in the middle. So again, very useful for organizational purposes. So I really like these as well. Now, Galen leather also has a similar 12 pack. Again, hard leather here with a nice organization inside. These are also very nice. One thing though about them is that this style has this lip, which is a little bit makes it uneven. So stacking isn't quite as convenient in my opinion for this one. But again, they're very good and very useful. Galen also has one that has a zippered version. This is actually in some ways maybe a little bit preferred in my opinion because it allows it to be level here. So stacking is easier for these pens. And these are quite nice. And now one thing that I've always a little bit concerned with is the possibility of, since this zippered, these teeth, if there's a risk of actually abrasion the rubbing the edge of the pens. I don't think it's really a big risk because you're not going to jostle them around a lot, but it is something to consider. But again, I think I prefer this style to the flapped version of the Galen product. Now, over the years, also have found a little more harder cases. Now, this is Serrando, and this is actually I really like this for some of my more medium-sized pens or kind of thing. This has very long slots, so it's very useful. Again, this is the Revolution. Revolution from Rickwell. So it's a rather large pen, so it was able to fit in these slots, which is nice. It also has this little pouch in the front too, which for other accessories if you want to. So I like this. I think this is quite convenient, and again by being nice and firm, it allows for good stacking. Likewise, I found these classic pen cases. Unfortunately, they don't exist anymore, but these are actually rather nice. They actually hold a total of 20 pens, And now this one has a little bit smaller size slots. And so I use it to store most of my Elegant series from Conway Stewart's. But there's like 4 of the slots are actually a little bit larger than the others, but they're a little bit smaller for the pens. And so, but really nice. Now, there is a version which I have, and I greatly prefer, of this same classic pens. Kind of sounds a little bit larger. Now this has ability to store all the the larger size pens. And again, I think that 20 is a good number for me in terms of for pen storage, just organizationally. That makes it kind of convenient for me. So I really like this style. Again, I can find these occasionally on eBay or whatnot, but they're not made anymore, unfortunately. Now, what has been made, and I saw this the first time at the last year's DC Pen Show, was this case from Omas. Now, I think the design came from Omas, but galenleather actually produces this for them, and this is really nice. And this is actually my preferred. This has a magnetic flaps in the front that allows to hold it down, but it allows for other 20 pens, and allows the slots are rather large, and so allows for the larger pens to be stored here and fully displayed. So I really like this for both from organizational perspective and a stackability perspective. So I got a number of these, and this is now my preferred method, and I'll get probably more and more of these cases. I have a lot, but I'll probably get more. Now, one challenge though there is I have some pens that are extra broad, in particular some of my David Ostersons, like the Snake and the Dragon. And so this case actually is from Coins and More, which is a firm out of Italy that makes these hard, these wooden cases. So this is actually rather nice. It doesn't hold as many, obviously, because they're so much wider. This one only carries 14, but it's really great for if you have some of the broader pens like these David Ostersons. Now, I also have some pens that are particularly long, and for that I found these. There's not really a brand name on it. I can't find any kind of really marketing on it, but these allow for much longer pens. So I have a few very long, like the Gothica kind of thing. Is extremely scepter-like pen, and so this kind of is useful for those unusually long pens. So I use that. But again, overall, I think my overall preferred one and my most used one is this Omas case. Again, produced by Galen, but I think only sold from Omas, is one of my favorite, both from a stackability perspective, a display perspective, and organizational perspective. So anyway, there you have it. A plethora of pen storage options. Again, most of them aren't available anymore, but they can be found again at auctions, eBay, or at pen shows. So again, it's always a hunt for the best storage solutions. These kind of work for me at certain levels. So there you have it. Please leave comments below, hit the like button, take a look at my other reviews, and subscribe to Primarily Pens. I'll have additional reviews soon.